No.
Good morning. How are you? We are live for World Refugee Day, and I'm Stephen Watt, and you are.
Me? Are you speaking to me? I'm
Yeah,
Hassan. I'm Hassan. Yeah, you took me by surprise there. Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
My name is Hassan. Say.
okay, okay. And introduce yourself so I don't put words in your mouth. Who are you and whatever?
That's the hard part, and that's why I wrote a book at the first place, because I don't know how to introduce myself. So if you want to know about me, here you go. This is my book. Read it. No, but I'm a former Syrian refugee who's living now in Canada, and I had a story which some people know it by now. They call me the man at the airport because I spent some times at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. I have been here since 2.5 years and still living the dream.
Okay. And the book is amazing. I think even people like me who know you had a million surprises reading that book. And the depth of your story is what's really compelling, because everyone knows the headlines, but it's like what's behind the headlines. And also you're a very thoughtful person about
Thank you.
yourself and about the political situation that put you where you were. So I would definitely recommend anybody read it. My mom endorses the book with 3 thumbs up. So if she says
Mm.
yes as an English teacher, it's a well-written book.
Uh,
So before we get into the book and into your experiences, 3 funny questions to kick things off. What's the weirdest thing? What did you find was the weirdest thing about Canada?
um, the date thing, they start year, month, day, which is very weird to me. And Putin.
Poutine.
I tried to like it, but not. It's funny how our cuisine is very rich and famous, and the Mediterranean, and we have some complicated dishes, and it requires a lot of work. And for the whole country to go after French fries as our formal and official dish, we can do better. We can do better.
Yeah, well, you're talking to a country that's like what 150 years old or something versus a country that's I don't know 10,000 years old. So give us time.
Sure.
In 10,000 years, we'll do better.
That's
I
why
have
we
an
are
airplane.
here.
Yeah,
That's why we are here as
yeah,
refugees.
yeah.
It's a
We're
new
here to make
culture,
those.
new civilization, and new thoughts, and that's
Yeah,
the actual benefit.
yeah, yeah. We've got lots of time to do better. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Peaceful, be yourself.
That's nice. And what is your actual job for those who may not know?
For now, I work for the Canadian Red Cross, emergency response worker.
Perfect. Okay, so you're pretty well known as the man at the airport.
Mm.
What and for some people that would be enough. It's like, look, I've got 8,000 news stories about me, read them. But then you wrote a book, which is a lot of effort, and it's a passion project. What what made you want to say more about yourself than was already out there?
The title itself is tricky because, as you said, I'm known by man at the airport, so it was a must for me to name the book that way. But people will jump and start assuming that it's about the time I spent at the airport, and that's it. It's more than that. When I first came to Canada, and people start asking me where I'm from, and after they uh, mistakenly guess that I'm from Mexico, they will say that when I say Syria, they will say sorry, and they will start showing empathy and sympathy. So then they will start asking questions. about Syria, about the war. They know a big deal about the Syrian war, but they know nothing about Syria before the war. And they never heard from Syrians directly. So the book was just a try, a message, an effort to bring the gap closer between our two nations or between the different part of the world, the East and the West, and to speak about Syria before the war, to humanize us as Syrians and who we are, how our life looked like before, our dreams, families, farms, traditions. And then when the war started, and till the time I arrived to Canada.
Yeah. No, you're pointing at something really interesting, which is when it comes to news stories, there's only so much room to tell a full story. And the story is usually like Canadians are the saviors of these people, these like faceless people who have no identity until they arrive at our airports. But the irony is like we're the new we're the new guys on this planet, except for the indigenous who we often ignore. Um, and then you have these cultures which we kind of don't really contend with or think about much, who are here for thousands and thousands of years and have very rich history. So how was it? I mean, for you, it's especially interesting because you are like the guy in the headlines, right? So in some ways, you have to live and be that guy in the headlines, like the title of your book. At the other, on the other side, you have a whole self that has nothing to do with Canada and nothing to do with being a refugee. So how is that for you? That kind of struggle between.
That's true, but that's why I advise to be yourself, because at that point, if you become yourself and rediscover yourself, you will not have this two different characters. So it will be easier for you because you are the same person, and that's what I was trying to do at the airport when I was used to record some funny videos or post something funny. That was me, the same guy, because this is who I am. And but you should also give yourself some credit, because the Canadian, yes, you have a part to do with it, and you technically helping saving lives. So there's nothing, you don't need to be shy or shame about it. You just need to simply state the facts.
Yeah, yeah,
Canadian did it, and indigenous. That's why we spoke before, you and I, about special connection we feel with the indigenous people, because we know what it means to be kicked out from your own land and to be disconnected from the one you love, and not to be able to say goodbye for them. So I feel their pain, and I cannot even dare to go there and what they went through. But somehow we have something in common. We have similarities. Um, how about it never intrigued me, the lights and the articles, the interviews. I never watched it. I never listened to myself in a broadcast. I'm not going also to watch the video you are going to watch. That's who I am, and I don't. Because since the time I was at the airport, I did not want to get attached to lights and attention. So I was trying to save myself and to live my normal life. And that's what I'm doing here in Canada so far, with a normal job, normal daily life. And I'm still doing interviews. I'm still doing broadcasts. People are asking me to speak in a public events or schools or universities. But for me, that's a matter of a purpose in life. It's not something I do. It's who I am. So I make my own peace with it and I move on. It means the lights. It means absolutely nothing.
now you have been, whether you like it or not, you have been given the responsibility of being kind of a spokesperson for refugees and Syrians. And even though you're not um, a refugee anymore, you're living in Canada, you have a job, you're PR, but nonetheless, that's what life has dealt you. Um, what what do you say when people ask you about tell us about what it is to be a Syrian refugee or talk about these issues? What's your kind of point of view on these giant
It,
questions.
it is a responsibility. However, no one designated me to officially speak on behalf of refugees. And those who are former refugees who are listening to us now, and Syrians in particular, they feel the same weight, because I bet they are, even if they are not known to the media or just living their life, and they are receiving messages on a daily basis from refugees all around the globe asking for help. It's happening with them, it's happening to them, and it's happening to me as well on a daily basis. So they feel the pain, and they are not disconnected themselves from their community or from their past. And this is who I am. Till now, I have been in Canada since 2.5 years now, more than 2.5 years. And whenever there is an interview or an event I am going to speak in, they still introduce me as a former Syrian refugee. And I think this is something, it doesn't bother me. It's true. It is who I am. And it's going to stick with me forever. And it's actually, I like it because it's a reminder of who I was and who I am and who I become. So uh, as long as we receive messages from people who are asking for help, and as long as you feel hopeless and powerless because there's nothing much you can do to help on individual level, you cannot help everyone. All what you can do is to speak on their behalf and to bring more awareness to the cause. So that's what I can do. But it's not enough. It's not
Well,
enough.
it's something. All right, so we're at our time, and I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank you for all the great work you're doing. I also want to say you've got a book which people can buy online or in bookstores if
Yeah.
you're my mom, and you've got a lot of yeah, that's how she did it, and you've got a lot of Zoom calls and presentations and stuff. So I would say to people, watch this man, watch his social media presence, follow him on Twitter, and there's a lot of good stuff coming from you still to come.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, good to see you, and I'm going to stop
Thank
recording.